Good evening, everyone. I'm Johnson. I'm from ChaloBest, and ChaloBest is an organization that aims to provide transport information services, particularly to Mumbai city. So let me begin by outlining the problem. Firstly, Mumbai is a very populous city, as you all know. There are approximately 12.5 million people residing there, out of which daily commuters using the public transit services are 4.5 million. The idea that each of these people have transit issues. The BST system, that the bus network system, is quite robust. It allows for cheap and efficient transportation systems, but with burgeoning crowds, the people that grow along with it, transit becomes a point of pain for any urban city. The idea that we want to tackle is this. For a normal customer or a commuter, till today there are some specific questions that one needs to ask. Some of those questions are, how do I get from point A to point B in this particular time? Secondly, how much effort does it involve? Does it involve only one mode of transport or multiple modes of transport? So the idea is that in public transport, you always find that public transport is the underdog. It has to kind of, you pay very less money, but you have to spend more time, or there's no exclusivity, or you're in cramped space. And a lot of times, one of the additional burdens on the commuter is that the information that you need, where does one bus go from here to here, is inadequate. The BST has a very good hardware service, hardware infrastructure, but information as which bus to catch where is sadly quite, as you can see, a bit lacking. So these are signboards. These are basic post-its as in how many routes go from where to where. This is available at certain bus stops. This is available stickers informing of new routes. And additionally, every physical bus stop contains a set of route numbers that go along that particular stop. Does this, however, answer our question that we want to get from point A to point B? Not really. So here is our solution. How do we tackle this? How do we provide updated information, traffic information to people? We are following, we have tried to identify how do we be accessible to the largest consumer base. And we have tried to aim our, considering mobile penetration that is there in the consumer markets today, in particularly India and urban India. We looked at providing solutions via three ways. One, SMS, smartphones, tablets. Smartphones and tablets and on websites. We had approached Sankranti. We had taken part in Sankranti, which is by the Indian Institute of Human Settlements. We were very glad to have won first prize over there, and we had got additional funding of about 4 lakhs, which we have, I suppose we have been good stewards of it. We have come up and reached prototypes of each of these models. So if we'll advance to the next slide. We have done user experience research, tried to identify the semantics of how exactly you will communicate route information via SMS across a single platform, because SMS is basically multimodal communication. You have to communicate multiple times to get it. So we needed user experience research to go about it in a meaningful way, to make it less stressful for the user and of course increase adoption. So I will just get straight to what we actually have right now. So these are interface screens of how exactly our service works. We have certain things like, if you want to go from point A to point B, you can identify a from and a to. You need to identify via text matching from and a to. Additionally, it's not that the user only knows the stop name, because the stop name is very specific, so it can be a road or a landmark or an area. We boil them down, and this, ideally, Pani happens to be a stop, Church Gate is not a stop, it's an area. We break it down, and further communication happens, as in a choice of stops in that area. Then the user chooses, and he makes his request, and that's when he gets his address. If you go to the next one. So the SMS is sorted out. Right now we have trips planning, very similar in vein to what Google offers for Mumbai city and also for many places around. I I believe personally that we have a little better edge as compared to Google. Why? Because over the period of the 3 months that we have a very good working relationship with the BST that makes this data, and we have cleaned up several of their data, dirty data, because real world data is always dirty. We have, of course, it's a fact. So we cleaned it up for them, we gave it back to them, so there's this mutual trust and understanding, and we hope this relation will continue because it's core to our services. So, we have point and click interface where you click and go from service to service. If you want to go from point A to point B, you will get right now, as of now, we have the bus information. We have also yet to include the train information. What will happen then is that we have a proper public transit scenario, routing scenario for us. Particularly, why we're doing this? A very important question. I will also speak on it later. The idea that increased utility of public transportation will result in decreased congestion of urban roads, and the value of this can be really put a metric upon. This is what we want to achieve, because our cities are getting more populated. We can't stop the people. We want to create better roads. So I'll go forward. This was the web interface. This is the Android app that we have also developed. Part of this, you can see the screens that you go from place 1 to place 2, place 3 by a bus, and how do you go about it. I will not take much on this, but these are working prototypes of our apps. We haven't really released it out into the market. There is still alpha testing and beta testing to follow, which we need to refine our models in a very good way so that they will scale. Next slide. So, what makes it unique, and why do we want to do this? We also have something known as crowdsourcing. Like I said, real world data is not perfect. The data is handmade. We have several tables in BST data that certain route masters of particular areas kind of identify, and they handwrite these data inputs. We have to come up with a way to solve this. Recently, I've heard that BTIS, even Google tried to make their data into routes, but they kind of gave up halfway. Only half of the routes were actually materialized into proper data. Why this happened? Because the data collection effort involved in getting there was still a big question mark. And so this is one thing that aims to go around it. In our aim for accessibility, we also have these multiple languages that we offer them for. And now, big question, how do you make money? How do you make it sustainable? It's not about making money. This whole effort is a social effort. We want to identify, we have 3 media channels, SMS, web, and Android.
You say one sentence, I make money, just make sure I touch this.
Yeah, product advertisements coupled over existing service mechanisms. Over these service mechanisms, we have SMS all the channels. We are the first in the SMS space to actually provide these routing services. Can you go back? So essentially, we just attach the consumer's brand to identify this service sponsored by, say, Vodafone or so. So then this service is sponsored by, as of now, IHS, and so essentially, for this to work, we need critical mass. So part and parcel of this is the social media campaign that we want people to adopt it. Once we reach that critical mass, we will be viable. So we want to go through how we will achieve that. Here's where we are right now, our milestones. We have these up on our websites. There are links to each of them. They are still not pretty much in like alpha stage. We want to go into alpha stage, beta stage where we scale, and then we begin to roll out. Expected timeline for this period is about 6 months, as in when we're hoping to receive funding for that. Additionally, we found out that certain amounts of funding was not exactly such good. Thank you.